Have you ever felt the exhausting, soul-crushing drain of chasing someone who seems to be running on a treadmill away from you? That constant ache in your chest, the anxiety that screams every time your phone doesn't light up with their name. You're pouring an ocean of love into a cup with a hole in the bottom, and you're left wondering, why am I not enough? What is so wrong with me that they can't just step you? I want you to get this right now. It-mo-as never abu ya you or th. The problem was never the size of your love, but the container you were trying to pour it into. You've been trying to negotiate with a void. You've been begging a mirage for a glass of water. And today we break that cycle. Today we reveal the shocking, life-altering truth of what happens when you find the courage, the sheer guts, to stop thkhs. What happens next will not just change your love life. It will redefine your entire existence. For so long, you've been operating under a massive, debilitating illusion. It's an illusion that feels like strategy, that masquerades as love, that whispers to you in the dead of night, if you just try harder, if you just love more perfectly, if you just find the right words to erase their fears, then you will finally get the love and security you deserve. This is the grand illusion of control. You have been trying to control an outcome that is not yours to control. You have been trying to manage another person's emotions, their capacity for intimacy, their deeply ingrained patterns of avoidance, all while your own world is burning to the ground. Let's break this down. Let's really get into the meat of this, because until you see this cage for what it is, you can't step out of it. The chase feels active. It feels like you're doing something. It feels powerful because you are the one initiating, you are the one planning, you are the one reassuring. But I need you to ask yourself a raw, honest question. Is it truly powerful to be constantly waiting by the phone for someone who may or may not call? Is it truly powerful to analyze every text, every word, every silence, looking for clues like a detective at a crime scene? Is it truly powerful to shrink your needs, to make yourself smaller, quieter, less demanding, so you don't scare them away? That's not power. That is the most insidious form of self-abandonment. That is handing over the remote control to your entire emotional world to someone who doesn't even know how to work it and who often doesn't even want it. The moment you stop chasing, the entire facade crumbles. The moment you stop, the ground falls out from under you, but you don't fall. You finally land on the solid ground of your own 2 feet. The initial feeling will be terrifying. It will feel like free fall. Your mind will scream, you're losing them. Do send a text, make a plan. This is the addiction to the drama, the addiction to the pursuit, screaming for its fix. But if you hold steady, if you breathe through that panic, a miraculous shift occurs. The noise dies down, and in that sudden, profound silence, you hear a voice you haven't heard in a long time, and it says, I am still here. That is the moment real power is born. Not power over them, but power within yourself. It's the power of choice. The power to say, my peace is non-negotiable. The power to declare, my love is a gift, not a bargaining chip. The power to understand with every fiber of your being that you cannot force someone to be ready, to be available, to be capable of holding the magnificent, complex, beautiful person that you are. This power is quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't need to chase. It stands firm. It knows its worth is not determined by someone else's inability to see it. When you stop chasing, you are no longer a participant in a game you were designed to lose. You become the rule maker. You step off their chessboard entirely. The energy you were wasting, the mental gymnastics, the emotional turmoil, the endless conversations with friends trying to decode their behavior, that energy floods back into you. It's a tidal wave of life force returning to its source. And with that energy, you can now build, you can create, you can invest in a relationship where the ROI is guaranteed, the relationship with yourself. This is the foundation of everything. This is the bedrock upon which a truly epic life and eventually a truly healthy love is built. You stop trying to control the uncontrollable and start mastering the one thing you were always meant to control: your own life, your own responses, your own destiny. The chase was a prison of your own making, with the keys always in your hand. Stopping is the sound of the lock clicking open. You have been living in a state of perpetual threat. Let that sink in. Your body, your brilliant, intuitive, animal body has not known if it's safe or in danger. The intermittent reinforcement of an avoidant partner, the hot and cold, the push and pull, The glorious highs followed by the devastating silent treatments is not just emotionally confusing, it is a physiological assault. It literally wires your nervous system for chaos. It keeps you in a constant state of fight or flight of anxious anticipation. Your cortisol levels are through the roof. Your adrenal glands are exhausted. You are biologically in survival mode, trying to navigate a relationship as if it were a predator lurking in the shadows. Every text notification is a potential threat or a potential reward, and your body can't tell the difference. It just prepares for impact. This is why you feel so tired. This is why you can't think straight. This is why you feel addicted, because the dopamine hits of their occasional attention are like a drug to a system starved of consistency and safety. When you stop chasing, you are not just making a psychological decision, you are giving your body a directive to stand down. You are signaling to every cell, to your entire autonomic nervous system, that the war is over. The alarm can be turned off. The initial silence will be jarring. The absence of the drama will feel like boredom, like something is wrong, because your system has become habituated to the chaos. It's like a sailor getting off a ship and still feeling the rock of the waves on solid land. This is the withdrawal. But then, day by day, breath by breath, something miraculous begins to happen. Your heart rate steadies. The tension in your shoulders begins to melt. You sleep through the night without checking your phone. You start a morning without that fist of anxiety in your gut. You begin to taste your food again. You notice the sun on your skin. This is not a metaphor. This is a biological reality. You are coming home to yourself. Your body is descending from the constant high alert and entering a state of rest and digest. In this state, your capacity for healing is immense. Your clarity returns. The brain fog lifts. The decisions that seemed impossible in the midst of the anxiety now become clear and straightforward. You start to realize that the passion you felt in that chaotic relationship was often just your nervous system mistaking trauma for love. Real love, secure attachment, feels calm. It feels like safety. It feels like coming home after a long, hard journey. When you stop chasing, you create the conditions for that safety within your own being. You become your own safe harbor, no longer a ship tossed about on the stormy seas of someone else's unresolved issues. You drop anchor in the deep, still waters of your own soul. This recalibration is the single greatest gift you can give yourself. It allows you to discern, from a place of deep somatic wisdom, what is truly nourishing for you and what is toxic. You will no longer be attracted to chaos, because your body will remember the profound peace of stillness and will seek it out like a homing beacon. You are not just healing your heart, you are healing your very biology, reclaiming the temple of your body from the occupation of stress and fear and making it a home again. In the drama of the anxious avoidant trap, there is a clear, albeit unspoken, casting call. The avoidant person, often without even realizing it, takes the role of the elusive, mysterious protagonist whose wounds and fears drive the entire plot. And you, the chaser, are cast in the supporting role. Your job is to be the understanding partner, the patient listener, the one who waits in the wings, the one whose storyline is entirely dependent on the actions and moods of the lead. Your character arc is all about them, how you react to their distance, how you plan to win them over, how you cope with their unavailability. Your own dreams, your passions, your friends, your growth. These become subplots, often sacrificed to serve the main narrative of will they or won't they commit. This is a recipe for the slow erosion of self. When you stop chasing, you fire that director. You walk off that set. You are no longer an extra in someone else's story. You grab the megaphone and declare, I am the star of my own life. This is a monumental shift in identity. It means your primary focus is no longer on deciphering their script, but on writing your own. What does that new movie look like? It's a blockbuster called Your Life. The plot is about your purpose. The scenes are your passions. The dialogue is the conversations you have with people who are fully present and engaged. The setting is wherever you decide you want to be. It's an adventure, a romance with life itself, a thriller where you are the hero overcoming obstacles and claiming your power. This requires a conscious and deliberate rewiring of your mental energy. Instead of thinking, what can I do to make them feel more secure? You start asking, what can I do today to make myself feel more alive? Instead of circling the drain of, why aren't they texting back? You invest that mental real estate in, What skill can I learn? What book can I write? What business can I start? What friend can I reconnect with? You begin to make decisions based on what is best for you, not what might or might not lure them closer. You start saying yes to invitations you used to decline in case they were free. You start spending money on yourself that you used to spend on gifts trying to earn their affection. You reclaim your time, your resources, and most importantly, your mental and emotional bandwidth. This isn't selfishness, this is sanity. This is self-respect. The world does not revolve around their inability to commit. It revolves around your capacity to live a magnificent, full, and uncompromising life. When you become the director, you get to choose your co-stars carefully. You are no longer desperately auditioning just anyone for the lead role. You are selectively casting for a partner who is worthy of sharing the screen with the magnificent, fully realized star that you have become. You will attract people who are drawn to your light, your purpose, your direction, not those who are comfortable with you waiting in their shadows. The chase had you playing a small, desperate role in a low-budget tragedy. Stopping the chase allows you to produce, direct, and star in your own epic. There is a fundamental law in the universe, a principle of energy and human psychology that many never learn to harness. It's the law of reverse motion. It states that the harder you push for something, the more it tends to push back. The more you try to grasp water in your hand, the faster it slips through your fingers. But when you open your hand and let it be, the water rests peacefully in your palm. This is the exact stunning dynamic that unfolds when you stop chasing an avoidant. The entire energy field between you two undergoes a seismic shift. As long as you are the pursuer, you allow them to remain comfortably in their preferred role, the distancer. You are actively confirming their core wound that intimacy is suffocating and that they need space to survive. You are ironically enabling their avoidance by your very pursuit. The moment you stop, you pull the rug out from under this dysfunctional dance. You remove the pressure. You take away the threat of your engulfing love. And in that vacuum, something strange and powerful happens. They are forced to stop reacting to you and start confronting the one thing they've been running from, themselves and their own feelings. Without your constant initiation, without your texts filling the silence, without your plans creating the structure, there is only emptiness. And in that emptiness, their own attachment system, often dormant, can sometimes begin to stir. They may start to wonder, they may start to miss you. They may even, and this is key, start to initiate. This is not a game you are playing. It is a strategic withdrawal from a game that was killing your spirit. The outcome of this shift is not guaranteed to bring them back, and that is now the goal. The goal is your freedom. However, the shift in dynamic is almost always profound. They may come forward with a new level of interest and curiosity, or they may retreat permanently, proving that your presence was only valued as a response to your pursuit. Either way, you win. If they come forward, they are doing so because they are choosing to, not because you have cornered them. The power dynamic equalizes. You are no longer a beggar at the table of their affection. You are a sovereign individual who has set a place for themselves at their own table, and they are asking for an invitation. If they retreat, their departure is the final, brutal, and liberating confirmation that you were never in a relationship. You were in a solo performance with a critical audience of one. This law of reverse motion teaches you the ultimate lesson in leverage. The person who needs the least in the relationship holds the most power. By stopping the chase, you communicate, without a single word, that you need them less than you need your own peace, your own sanity, and your own self-respect. That is an irresistibly attractive force. It either pulls them toward the fully realized person you've become, or it propels you forward into a new reality where you are no longer defined by someone who was never your equal to begin with. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you stop pouring your energy, your time, your obsessive thoughts, and your desperate love into the black hole of an avoidant relationship, you create a massive empty space in your life. This emptiness can be terrifying at first. It will tempt you to go back, to fill the silence with the familiar noise of the chase. It will whisper lies that this emptiness is loneliness, that this stillness is boredom. But I'm here to tell you that this vacuum is the most sacred, fertile ground of your entire life. This is not a void of lack, it is a void of potential. For the first time in a long time, there is space. Space for what? Space for you. space for a new kind of love to enter. But first, you must sit in it. You must resist the urge to immediately fill it with another person, another drama, another distraction. You must allow yourself to feel the fullness of the emptiness. Grieve what was. Grieve what you hoped would be. Then, slowly, intentionally, you begin to fill this vacuum yourself. You fill it with hobbies you abandoned. You fill it with friendships you neglected. You fill it with the gym, with nature, with art, with music, with learning, with service to others. You fill it with the robust, unwavering, committed love of self. As you do this, a magnetic transformation occurs. You are no longer emitting a frequency of neediness, desperation, and anxiety. That frequency repels healthy, secure partners and only attracts those who are comfortable with dysfunction. When you fill your own vacuum with self-love and a vibrant life, you begin to emit a new frequency, one of wholeness, contentment, and strength. You become a lighthouse, standing strong and complete on your own shore, casting a beam out into the world. And who do lighthouses attract? They don't attract ships that are lost, confused, and sailing in circles. Those ships are warned away from the rocks. Lighthouses attract other strong, seaworthy vessels, captains who know where they are going and are drawn to the light as a point of alignment, not as a rescue beacon. You will begin to attract people who are capable of a secure, mature, reciprocal love. Their love will feel different. It won't be the roller coaster of highs and lows you mistook for passion. It will be steady, consistent, and deeply nourishing. It will be a quiet river, not a crashing wave. It will feel calm, safe, and perhaps even a little boring at first, because your nervous system is so accustomed to the chaos. But this boring is the sound of peace. This is the foundation upon which a truly epic, lifelong love can be built. The vacuum you created by letting go of the wrong person was the essential precondition for allowing the right person, or the right life, to enter. You had to create the space. The chase was you cluttering your life with a relationship that was never meant to fit, like trying to force a puzzle piece from a different box. Stopping the chase allows you to clear the table, so the pieces of your own beautiful picture can finally come together. The final and most profound transformation is a spiritual one. The chase is the ultimate expression of attachment. You are attached to a specific person. You are attached to a specific outcome. You are attached to the fantasy of how it could be, blinding yourself to the reality of how it is. This attachment is a form of suffering, as all great spiritual traditions teach. It keeps you trapped in the ego's game of, I will be happy when they commit. I will be whole when they love me correctly. This is a lie that keeps you in a state of perpetual wanting. When you stop chasing, you are not just giving up on a person, you are surrendering an attachment. You are letting go of the outcome. This is a spiritual act of the highest order. It is you saying to the universe, I trust that what is for me will not pass me by. I release my white-knuckled grip on this one specific path to happiness, and I open myself to the infinite possibilities that exist beyond my limited vision. In that release, you undergo a massive upgrade in consciousness. Your identity is no longer fused with being the person who is in love with X, or the person who is trying to make it work with Y. You return to your essential, authentic self, the self that existed before this drama, the self that is whole and complete without any external validation. You move from a state of lack to a state of abundance. You begin to understand that love is not something you get from another person, but a state you cultivate within and then share with others. The love you so desperately sought to extract from the avoidant was always a reflection of the love you were withholding from yourself. This journey forces you to find your worth not in someone else's eyes, but in the unshakable knowing of your own soul. You develop a relationship with something greater than yourself, whether you call it God, the universe, source, or your higher self. You learn to draw strength, comfort, and guidance from this connection rather than from the fickle attention of a fractured human being. This is the birth of true, unconditional self-love. It's not about bubble baths and affirmations, though those are nice. It's about the deep, unwavering commitment to honor your own boundaries, to speak your truth even when your voice shakes, and to choose your own well-being as the non-negotiable priority of your life. From this place of authenticity, you relate to the world differently. You are no longer a beggar for love. You are an emperor dispensing it from your own overflowing treasury. Your relationships become choices, not needs. You engage with people from a place of want, not lack. You want a partner to share your already complete life with. You don't need a partner to complete you. This is the ultimate freedom. The shocking truth is that stopping the chase for an avoidant is the fast track to your own spiritual awakening. It's the universe's brutal, but perfectly designed curriculum to force you to graduate from the school of attachment and enroll in the master's program of authentic, sovereign selfhood. The journey of stopping the chase is nothing short of a total personal revolution. It is the moment you declare an end to the war within yourself, the moment you cease outsourcing your sense of worth and validation to someone who is fundamentally incapable of providing it. This is not a strategy to win them back. It is the ultimate strategy to win yourself back. You reclaim your power, your peace, and your narrative, understanding that the greatest love story you will ever experience is the one you have with yourself. Everything else is merely a reflection of that foundational relationship. As you stand firm in this new reality, you will witness a profound recalibration not only in your emotional world, but in your very biology. Your nervous system settles, your mind clears, and your body thanks you for the respite from constant stress. You step out of the supporting role you were playing in someone else's drama and finally take your rightful place as the director and lead actor in the blockbuster that is your life. This shift in identity is permanent and powerful, setting a new standard for how you will allow yourself to be treated. The stunning shift in dynamic that follows, governed by the law of reverse motion, serves as the ultimate test of truth. It reveals, beyond any doubt, whether the person you were chasing was ever truly capable of meeting you in the arena of authentic connection, or if they were only ever responding to the pressure of your pursuit. Regardless of the outcome, you emerge victorious, having regained your leverage and demonstrated that your peace is non-negotiable. The vacuum you create by letting go becomes the most fertile ground for your future. By courageously facing the initial emptiness and filling it with self-love, purpose, and passion, you transform your energy from desperate to magnetic. You stop attracting chaos and start calling in security, stability, and a love that is reciprocal and nourishing. You realize that you had to release the wrong connection to make space for the right one to enter your life. Ultimately, this entire process catalyzes a profound spiritual upgrade, moving you from a state of anxious attachment to a state of unshakable authenticity. You learn to derive your worth from within and from your connection to something greater, breaking the chains of needing a specific outcome to feel whole. You emerge from this fire not burned, but forged, stronger, wiser, and radiant with a self-love that makes you truly unstoppable in life and love. Thank you. Thank you for having the courage to read these words, to confront the painful patterns, and to even entertain the possibility of a different way of living. Your future self is already thanking you for the decision you are making today. This is not the end of your story. It is the powerful, glorious beginning. Now go out there and claim the life, the love, and the peace that you so deeply deserve. Goodbye for now.